Talk, shop, pop, movies.
Ahoy there, this is Derek, the Convicted Cinephile, and if you're a convicted cinephile yourself, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel down below. On my channel, I like to talk, shop, and pop open, that is, movies and physical media. And today, I will be showing some physical media as a sort of part 2 of my AFI Top 100 Movies of All Time collection video I just did recently. If you haven't watched it, go check that out also, because it pertains to this. But this is the sequel to that, you could say, where 10 years after the AFI made their top 100 list of American films of all time, they remade the list a decade later. 23 films were added to it, which means 23 films dropped off. You'll have to figure that out after you watch the other video. I'm not going to tell you everything. But I have those 23 films here in reverse order, and I will tell you where they rank on the new list as we go along. Here's my sheet. As I showed my last time, this is the other sheet. See, this is the first, 33 of them, and only one new one popped in there. And that is the highest ranking new one. The interesting thing is to see, the biggest swings. So you look at number 1, still Citizen Kane. I think it's the only one that kept the same spot as the other list. Nope, I was wrong. Godfather Part 2 stayed at number 32 by chance. I should read this first before talking. Movies that went up 20 spots, like Raging Bull went from number 24 to number 4 on this list. Vertigo went up 52 spots up to number 9, which is a crazy big swing. City Lights went up 65, and The Searchers went up 84 spots. So some crazy upswings there for certain movies. But I think the biggest drops were Ben-Hur went down 28 spots to number 100 on this list. Butch Cassidy and Clockwork Orange both dropped in the mid-20s. And I think the biggest drop that I see, yes, is a 48 spot drop to number 65 for The African Queen, which I'm fine with because I'm not the biggest fan of African Queen. So. But they did get rid of a few really good movies that are like my all-time favorites that were on the first list that no longer are on this list, like Fargo, for example. Come on. Close Encounters. What's wrong with y'all? The new 23 AFI Top 100 Films of All Time. I already said number 100 was Ben-Hur on this list, so number 99 on this list, which I love to see it on here, is Toy Story. This is where I'd be holding it if I had it. I own it, and then I remembered it was in my wife's car because we were watching the DVD of it when we drove to Iowa last month, and I still haven't taken it out of the car. So, Toy Story. I'll put the poster up instead. Number 97, a lot of the lower ones are the new ones because they're not as well regarded as the tippity top ones as can be expected. So number 97 is Ridley Scott's Blade Runner, which I guess the 10 years in between the first list and this list were when people realized this was a sci-fi masterpiece of some sort. It's a very slow movie. It's not my all-time favorite thing, but from a visual standpoint, this movie has few rivals, I'll say that. But yeah, an amazing science fiction movie of the 80s. Number 96, right above it, is Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. This one kind of surprised me that it wasn't on the first list, too. A lot of these are like, really? A handful of them are newer than the first list, so it makes sense. This one is not. Do the Right Thing, a Spike Lee joint. Number 96. And then right above that, number 95, we have Peter Bogdanovich's Last Picture Show. Well, this is a Columbia Classics 4K. And it is available on 4K from Criterion as well now, or in that BBS set I always talk about in those videos. All right, this one's kicking up to number 91. It is Sophie's Choice with Meryl Streep. I could see why this probably shouldn't be on this list, honestly. If it was a list of the 100 best acting performances of all time, absolutely Meryl Streep in this movie would be on that list. But as a movie overall, I enjoyed it fine, but it's nothing I go back and rewatch too often. I wouldn't own it if it wasn't in this list. Let's put it that way. Good movie. You should watch it once, and it's a hoot and a half, especially if you have 2 children to choose between. Number 90, right above that, is Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers in Swing Time. I think I haven't watched this one yet. Now that I highlighted it on here, which means I watched it at one point. It's just been that long. that I don't remember it at all. Classic old song and dance film with Fred Astaire. Nothing wrong with that. This one is kind of surprising to be on here, especially nowadays, but I love that it is because I love this movie. Number 89, M. Night Shyamalan's The Sixth Sense made it on the AFI Top 100 Redux, if you want to call it that. They didn't. I don't know why I did. I love this movie. It is arguably his best movie, if not objectively his best movie. I'm a big Unbreakable fan, but this is always like right up there with it. Depends on my mood, but I love The Sixth Sense, and it's cool that it is on the AFI Top 100. I missed these, by the way. These Disney VistaVision series DVDs are like the coolest things. Like I had the Unbreakable one too. I never upgraded this to Blu-ray for some reason, and now I might as well just wait for the 4K. But it's Disney, so let's see if that happens. Uh, maybe next year for its what 25th anniversary. God, I'm old. Number 87, which is this movie is way too low on this list, and the fact that it wasn't on the original list is criminal. It is one of my all-time favorite movies because it's one of the all-time best movies, and that is 12 Angry Men. How is this not in the initial AFI Top 100? I don't know, but this is an endlessly rewatchable, I would say crime drama, but it's like a courtroom drama. That makes more sense than crime drama. Any Criterion related video, or now Kino, since they released the 4K of it, I always say buy 12 Angry Men because it is outstanding. It is, even if you know the entire thing that's going to happen beat for beat, it's riveting every single time you watch it. And the remake is good too, and that is also from Kino, and it's on the 4K. Go to that Kino sale. It's happening right now, actually. I didn't think of that. It's like $17.99 right now, and it includes the Blu-ray of the remake, which, like I said, is also a very good movie. Number 85 is the Marx Brothers' Night at the Opera. The Marx Brothers, I've only seen a couple of their movies, the two that are on these lists, not shockingly so. They are hilarious, though. I really need to watch more of their stuff. Groucho, Cheapo, and Harpo. I can talk. There we go. There is a Zeppo, I believe, if I'm remembering the name right, also, but he's not in this one. I think he was only in some of the films, and then he sort of just like faded away from existence for some reason. I'll look into it. Maybe I'll make a Marx Brothers video someday. That would be interesting. Number 83 is James Cameron's masterpiece. Like this one came out. This got released like the year they made the AFI Top 100, so it makes sense that it wouldn't be in there. But given its impact on the industry, it makes sense that it would be on this new list for sure. Not terribly high on it, but on there nonetheless, which is perfect. The perfect place for Titanic. It deserves to be there. It just, but it's not like one of the greatest things ever made from like a screenwriting standpoint, you know. And that 4K is coming out this week, I think, on the 5th or whatever, right? So that's cool. Good timing. Right above that is number 82. They always come in chunks. It's Sunrise, which is only available in this. This is a limited edition, only available in this box set it came in. That also had my All About Eve DVD that I showed in the last video. At the very first Academy Awards, if I'm not remember, oh no, yeah, this won 3 Academy Awards in 1927. Yeah, I'm thinking of the right movie. This one, not Best Picture, but Best like what is it called here? Most Unique and Artistic Production, which was the only time they ever gave out that Oscar. So Sunrise is the only movie in the 95-year history of the Oscars to have won that award, which is kind of funny. Number 81 is Stanley Kubrick's, because he needs more movies on these lists, Spartacus. Spartacus is awesome, and I love to see it so much higher than Ben-Hur, because I always kind of compare them in my head, and I've always thought Spartacus was the better movie. Personally, it's more entertaining, more interesting. This is the old Criterion of it. I show it off in my Criterion collection video. And then we jump all the way up to number 77 for All the President's Men with Dustin Hoffman and Robert Redford. I need to rewatch this. It's been a really long time. It's a good movie, though. I like news reporting movies. But yeah, this is a must-see film, especially if you're into journalist movies. There's the word. I love Spotlight, movies like that. I prefer Spotlight to this because it's just more interesting and entertaining to me. This is obviously about like the Watergate scandal back in those days. Or if you have seen the movie Dick, it's basically the comedic version of this movie. Now we jump all the way up to number 75, which this is another Kino that if it's on sale right now, I would recommend you buy it. In the Heat of the Night with Sidney Poitier and Rod Steiger. This won Best Picture, What year did it come out? 1967. I was going to say 69. I'm glad I read it. This also comes with the sequel on Blu-ray, so that is cool too. So go buy it. Kino is good at putting like extra movies in as special features. It's weird. But I really like this movie. I haven't opened this 4K yet because I suck, as I always say, at watching the movies I buy. But I have watched this movie a few times, and it is very good, very entertaining. This is a good police drama slash mystery film. There is a killer on the loose, and they need to find him. Not like a slasher killer, but a the other kind, the normal kind. I gotta flip my papers over. Number 72. It is a shame once again that this was not on the first top 100 list, but this is another one that like everyone loved this movie, but no one ever talked about how great it was, it seems like, until the internet exploded, which was around the time the first list came out. And now this is like everyone's favorite movie, and I think it's still the highest rated movie on IMDb, and that is Shawshank Redemption is number way down at number 72. That's too low for Shawshank, but at least it's on here, right? Doesn't get much better than Shawshank as far as just good old fashioned movies. For some reason, it falls in that category. Right above that, number 71, this movie came out just after the list, kind of like Titanic. Saving Private Ryan. So we dropped Close Encounters and threw on another Spielberg movie to replace it, it looks like. Fair enough. But yeah, Saving Private Ryan is, everyone has seen this movie at this point, at least if you live in this country. And if you haven't, do yourself a favor and watch it. Even if you don't think it's the greatest story in the world, which it is based on a true story. The opening 40-minute sequence or whatever how long it is like one of the greatest things ever put to film. Because that was back when they used film in movies. It was really cool. You should look into it. Pop it up to number 67. Number 67 is Who is Afraid of Virginia Woolf with Liz Taylor and Richard Burton. Richard Burton, obviously most famous for The Exorcist 2, The Heretic. Liz Taylor is famous for perfume ads, I think, right? Is that what she did when she was older? Number 63, we have the winner of 8 Academy Awards, which is the most Oscars for a movie that does not win Best Picture in history because it lost to The Godfather that year. That is Cabaret with Liza Minnelli, Michael York, and the Oscar-winning Joel Grey, Jennifer Grey's dad, for Dirty Dancing. She is, not him. Right above that at number 61, we have another Criterion that I get to show off again, and this is one of my favorite posters too. We talked about it on our last Collectors Club episode. We were talking about posters on Tim's channel. Sullivan's Travels. This is one of the 5 I picked to show off because I just love simple, gorgeous, poppy artwork like this. This is a trip of a movie. Veronica Lake's on the take, is what I heard. At number 59, we have a movie I still need to watch, actually. I need to watch a few of these, I'll be honest. I still need to watch Sullivan's Travels. Robert Altman's Nashville, which has a Criterion Blu-ray, but I think that one might be out of print because there's now a Paramount Presents Blu-ray, if I'm not mistaken, of Nashville. One of these times I'll buy one of those and watch it. It's got this old Paramount DVD, which maybe I should watch this first because I bought it 20 years ago for the sake of owning it and still haven't watched it. I think part of it's because it's so long. It's like 2 hours and 40 minutes long, and I'm also not the biggest Robert Altman fan in the world. So, almost 3 hours of a movie that's from a director you don't love is never the most intriguing thing to sit down and watch. But I'm sure it's good. It won Best Song for Mr. Keith Carradine, who is, brothers with the other Carradines, Robert and David, R.I.P. At number 50, smack dab at number 50, we have a movie that could have easily won Best Picture, but luckily the third one did. Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring is number 50. Interesting they went with Fellowship specifically and not Return of the King. I would understand why it's not the middle one, which I love equally, but I get why they did just the first one. But yeah, what's to be said about the masterpiece that is the Lord of the Rings trilogy? It's amazing. Nothing since has matched it in quality or scope, in my opinion. Lord of the Rings, good shit. This is my weird one. Number 49, right above that, is Intolerance, one of the oldest movies in my collection. This is what this looks like. It's like literally a slipcover with a disc in it, and it's still sealed, and you can see it has like Korean writing on it. This is another silent film from 1917 that I still need to watch. I saw Birth of a Nation, but I have never watched Intolerance. Let's flip to the first page. This is the highest ranking new entry at number 18, which is impressive that it's that high, is Buster Keaton's The General. That is an old silent comedy from the stunt man, actor, director, comedian Buster Keaton. It also has Steamboat Bill Jr. But there's The General on top. The stunts he did in these old movies is ridiculous. Like Charlie Chaplin's the same way, but Buster Keaton, like he should have died 1,000 times making these movies. It's a miracle he did not. And that's them. That is the 23 additional films that are in the updated 10th anniversary AFI Top 100 American Films of All Time list / collection video. Yay, sequels to your own videos. That makes sense, right? If you have not watched my other AFI Top 100 list, there's, 4 times as many movies in that one, so give it a look. Look up these lists online. You can still find them on their website, and they did one for like songs and scores and thrillers and comedies, like a whole bunch of different genres that are all interesting and amazing. And you can even see the films that they nominated. Like I think there was originally 400 films nominated to be in the final 100, and you see some of the movies in there and you're like, how did that not make it? Like Back to the Future, just because I'm a diehard fan. I understand why it wouldn't be on this list, but it's definitely better than a lot of things that are on these lists. Anywho, thank you for being here again. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Talk, shop, pop, movies.